Winter Hollow, New Hampshire, 1986. The small town lay beneath a relentless blanket of snow, each flake swallowing sound, muffling life, and isolating every house like a tomb. Streets were deserted, rooftops sagged under thick frost, and fog clung to the dim glow of street lamps like a living veil. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was heavy, almost sentient, pressing down on the town as if it were alive. 5 factory workers, Jack, Emily, Robert, Laura, and Stephen, finished their late shift at the lumber mill and trudged along the forest paths they knew so well. That evening, a flickering orange glow appeared on the horizon, hovering unnaturally above the snow-covered trees. Stephen, drawn to it like a moth to flame, stepped forward and vanished. His footprints ended abruptly, swallowed by the snow. Jack, Emily, and Laura screamed, but only whispers answered. Shadows stretched unnaturally, bending and twisting across the snow like living things. The cold pressed deep into their bones. Snowdrifts shifted into impossible shapes. The glow pulsed, heartbeat-like, teasing them deeper into the forest. That night marked the beginning of a horror that would consume Winter Hollow for years, leaving whispers, shadows, and the orange light as silent witnesses to the vanished. By dawn, Robert had disappeared. His bed lay unmade, the door ajar, windows intact, and only a single pair of boots left behind. Jack, Emily, and Laura scoured the snow, voices swallowed by icy wind. Laura insisted on returning to the forest, convinced traces might remain despite fear gnawing at their bones. The trees loomed like giants, frost-covered branches scraping faces like skeletal fingers. Shadows shifted unnaturally, and whispers floated through the forest, calling names, mocking, teasing, testing sanity. Panic surged as night fell, swallowing hope. Suddenly, Laura screamed, a long, piercing wail, and disappeared into the dark, leaving only Jack and Emily. Terror gripped them, gnawing at their minds. The police found nothing, no tracks, no struggle, no evidence. The only common factor was the Northern Railway path, abandoned decades prior, where each missing worker had been spotted. Local elders whispered of hovering lights, shadows moving independently, voices speaking in forgotten tongues. Jack and Emily stayed at the forest's edge that night, shivering, haunted, knowing Winter Hollow was no longer the town they had known. Something alive lingered in the trees, waiting, patient, hungry. The Northern Railway path cut through the forest like a frozen scar. Jack and Emily followed cautiously, snow crunching under boots, echoing unnaturally in the silent night. Moonlight filtered through skeletal trees, casting long shadows that bent and twisted like living creatures. Suddenly Michael vanished. His footprints ended mid-path, disappearing into swirls of frost. The orange glow pulsed again, flickering across the snow, illuminating faces frozen in terror. Whispering voices circled, repeating names, mocking, teasing, speaking in tones ancient and hostile. Amid the trees, remnants of the missing appeared, a glove buried in snow, a scarf snagged on a branch, a torn notebook filled with cryptic entries. No bodies. Only snow, silence, and the persistent glow. The forest seemed alive, breathing, feeding on fear. Hours stretched into days. Panic consumed them. Every shadow twisted unnaturally, stretching and coiling as if watching, waiting to claim them. The Northern Railway path was no longer a route, it had become a predator, alive and hungry, feeding on fear, footsteps, and lives. Jack and Emily realized there was no turning back. Every step deeper into the path was a step toward the unknown, toward something that existed outside human understanding. Weeks passed. Winter Hollow trembled under fear. Locals claimed to see figures moving between trees, hear whispers carried on the wind, glimpse orange lights that did not belong. Jack and Emily wandered daily, haunted by memories of the vanished, retracing steps that led them deeper into despair. Snowfalls revived fresh terror. The factory remained abandoned, rusted machinery frozen beneath layers of ice, windows shattered by unseen forces. The Northern Railway path became forbidden ground. No one dared approach after dusk. Shadows stretched across the town, reaching toward homes, reminding everyone that Winter Hollow had changed irreversibly. Jack and Emily attempted to document the horrors. Cameras failed, batteries drained, recordings corrupted by static. Light itself warped along the path, twisted by an unseen presence feeding on fear, footsteps, and lives. Every day tested their sanity, proving some places are alive in ways humans cannot comprehend, and the forest was one of them. Winter Hollow no longer felt like a town, it was a trap, a living entity that remembered, waited, and claimed. Decades passed. Winter Hollow remained isolated, snowbound, haunted. The 5 workers never returned. The Northern Railway path still seemed alive, filled with whispers, flickering lights, and shadows moving independently. Children grew up hearing stories of the vanished, learning to fear snowfall and nightfall. Adults avoided the forest after dark. Jack and Emily aged, carrying memories that never faded. Each snowfall brought a flash of orange light, shadows bending unnaturally, whispering in languages long forgotten. The truth endured. The 5 workers who disappeared in Winter Hollow never returned. Only fear, mystery, and whispers remained, etched into the town and its snow. Winter Hollow became a place where shadows speak, snow hides what the world refuses to remember, and the forest claims those who wander too close. Visitors sometimes glimpse fleeting orange glows, hear distant voices, and feel the cold weight of the unseen, knowing the forest remembers those it took long ago. Even decades later, Winter Hollow remains a prison of fear, a monument to the vanished, a town where light is preyed upon and every step into the snow is a gamble with something alive, patient, and eternally hungry.